Welcome to Zero Style. I am your host, Zero, the cyberspace hero. This episode is sponsored and brought to you by the fine folks at the Data Crew. And we're going to feature the brand new X-Pack snacktime sling. The bag and a lot of the patches were provided by Data Crew, but all the rest of the gear is mine. My opinions are all my own. So let's take this bag on a tour and see if it's right for you. I also have both versions of this bag, so we're going to compare and contrast them as well. All you shoeheads should be excited that the snacktime sling comes in this sweet kit box. Some sweet LA iconography all over it. You're gonna check out the stats on the bag. You can pause the video right here. I'm not gonna read them all to you. Support your local villain. But yeah, the box opens up just like any other shoe box. The bag is in here. It's wrapped in plastic. See our villain here. On the inside, we've got the sweet manhole. This is the new green X-Pack version of this bag. I really dig it. You'll notice right here we've got ourselves a magnetic fidlock buckle. Pull this thing up and it unlatches. Put it right back into place and magnets snap it right back on. The adjustment is very natural, and for any excess you might have on your adjustment strap, we've got a nice little piece of elastic here to keep it bound and tight onto your body. So the bag just effortlessly slings around whichever way you want to go. The branding on this bag is second to none. You've got yourselves a full PVC Ranger eye right here on this little loop that is directly stitched into the bag and a part of the strap itself. We've got the same setup here on the other side. I'm using this one for a heroclip, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Once again, very, very heavy duty stitching right here on these straps. They're going nowhere. You'll notice this bag's got YKK branded watergaurd zips for absolute assurance that the gear you got inside of here is not getting wet. Even these front pockets here, the one on the intersection, all of them are equipped with watergaurd zips. The front here, we've got a full web field for your Ranger eye and morale patch pleasure. I've got a kind of eclectic assortment. From Data Crew, this big new Peak Reaper. It came on my bag. I hope it comes on yours too. I can't say for sure though. Over here we've got one of the new beanie skulls and a Kill the Giant happy little Molotov cocktail. From Castle Grayscale we got the round Salt Slayer. A little bit of hobo tactical. Neck breaking and digital decay coming in hot with the DuckTales action, and rounding it off, Patch the Planet with Casa de Legmo designs. So that's the patches we got on this outside web field of the bag. So let's take a peek inside, shall we? Got one more Castle Grayscale, the Contra code right here on the inner web field section of the liner that I'm rocking on this bag today. The whole front opens and really comes apart. You can see everything that you got. This thing has a decent amount of room to stuff stuff in. This pouch is equipped with what's called an admin panel. You can just Velcro off the whole back section. There's a huge web field on here that this whole area is covered with all these little dividers and things to hold your gear in. You don't want that? Rip it out. You want something else in there? Put it in there. You could put like a gun holster or a whole number of different tool section organizers in here if you wanted to. So I've got the admin panel removed here just so we can take a quick look. You can see it's just Velcro on one side and then all of our organizers over here. But the pouch itself actually comes with another little adapter right here that's got two loops on it that are stretchy. This is good for much bigger items that you might want to put in here. But me and my small carry, I think these little elastic web things here do the job just fine. I don't need these huge guys in here, but it's an option that the Data Crew have made here for you. Now here's how I've got mine organized. Right up here in the front, the Keybar Junior. This is the OD Green Micarta and Titanium edition. The Junior's nice if you only carry one or two keys. Flip it out, stick it in the lock, unlock your door, put it back in there, you're done. It's a great little key organizer. It is super easy to use one-handed. You can pull them inward, like this if you prefer. This is kind of how I do it. If you want, you can push them from the back and flip them around. I mean, they're just rolling on washers. There's just one washer on a layer in between each of your keys, sandwiched between two pieces of material. That's a key bar. They're very simple, but they work really well. And I hate key jingle, and this absolutely 100% eliminates it. There's none. No janitor action here when you got yourself a key bar. And I, as a minimalist who likes little things, Minimal as in small, not minimal as in like not a lot of stuff. I think you can probably hold about 5 keys in a keybar, Junior, more on the full-size keyboard because you can put them on the back side and fan them in both directions. But as a guy who only carries 2 keys, this is how I roll. Pop your key out, throw it in the lock, put it back in there, and you're done. So the keybar, Junior, it's a very nice little key organizer that fits right in here. I think a pen is always a good choice when you've got a bag with you. You never know when you're going to need to jot something down. So this is the mini pen from Bigi Design. This is the brass version. It is just a very small hand-sized pen that perfectly sits right here on your knuckle. I wear size small gloves, and this is a small pen, and it fits my hand just right. So if you got bigger hands, this might be a little small for you, but it is the perfect size pen to be able to just throw into a bag if you need to sign a receipt, if you need to, I don't know what you do with the pen, but it's in there. This week I'm featuring the civivi lumi in burlap micarta. This is an out-the-front flipper knife. Not an out-the-front knife, but an out-the-front flipper knife. This is a traditional folding knife, right? But the only deployment mechanism is this little flipper tab that comes out here on the front of the knife. Put your finger right on that, push down and back to deploy the knife. Got a black wash drop point blade on here. Man, do I love Justin Lindquist's crispy clean grinds. This design is sweet. This knife is a traditional liner lock. Give it a little push here. It's not drop shut, but you can drop shut it. I think this knife is easier to deploy with your thumb. Front flipper knives are some of my favorites. It's just a very unique and fun opening mechanism. Got a super deep carry pocket clip that goes all the way to the back there. Very slim profile, very unassuming knife. I really enjoy all of the black hardware on the inside, including the liners. Everything is great. There's some nice skeletalization on this knife, so it is super lightweight. I'm not off the top of my head sure what steel that this is, so you just got to look it up on Blade HQ or whatever if you're interested in buying this knife. Because I didn't look it up, because I don't plan these videos. I do them off the cuff. The civivi lumi by Justin Lindquist is the knife I'm rocking this week in the Snack Time sling bag. Now, because we've got these 2 stretchy pockets right here, I was able to put a pretty beefy flashlight in here this week. This is my hanklight. This is the solid copper D4 V2 flashlight. We've got dual secondaries that are ambers in here. This is a tint ramping flashlight, an enthusiast flashlight. There's all kinds of cool features that you can do with this thing, lots of programming ideas. It's one of those things where I wanted to check out what having a custom flashlight was all about, and this is my entry into that zone. This flashlight takes 18650 or 18350 batteries. Unscrew the tail cap here. I'll show you. I've got the 350 in there now. There is a longer tube if you want the 18650. It's great for better runtime on this flashlight if you wanted to use it for longer. But for me, I use this flashlight very sparingly. I like to pull this cap this way just so it's off and it's not going to deploy in a bag or something. But it's ready if I need it. This thing is crazy bright, and it is easily my most bright flashlight. So I decided I was going to shove it into the Snack Time sling bag this week to show you guys. So that's my copper D4 V2 flashlight. Over here on this divider, I've got this one set up like a wallet, right? We've got 2 cards in here. We've got my Blockbuster and my exchange card as placeholders for my ID and debit. You can put a ton of cards in here. There's lots of room in here for more cards, but I threw 2 in there just to show you that you can use this as a wallet if you're in shorts and this is your only set of pockets. For the pocket trash game this week, we're going old school. Old, incredibly old school. Back to the EDC booze, the blood money boo. This is an SFK single finger knuck fidget spinner toy. This is made out of a resin epoxy micarta involving blood and shredded money in the shape of a fun screaming little ghost. Andrew Hamilton of EDC Booze makes all kinds of cool fidget toys. I love his work. He's been making beads, really focused on bead making lately. But this is a much older piece. They're way more intricate than this now. The new blood monies have a bunch of different layers. But I have a thin boy, one of the OG originals. So if you're looking for some fun pocket trash, just a fidget spinner to put on your finger to play with, cool stuff for photos, these are great. So the Blood Money Boo from EDC Booze is hanging out right here in the little pocket of this pouch. But what he's actually doing is hiding what I have hidden underneath that. So if I push this down, I'm trying to show you, with the patch here, this is nice and flat. You can't really tell there's anything in there, can you? If you reach really far deep down in there, it's not even easy to get to. I have it like this on purpose because I don't want anyone to pull it out. This is for emergencies. This is a little lock-picking kit that I put together from a couple of my favorite and most utilitarian pieces, just with a little rubber band holding them all together just so they're not going to fall out and apart. So this is from Covert Instruments. This is a set of 3 dual-sided turning tools. If you wanted to use them top or bottom of the keyway, it'll work both sides. 3 different thicknesses for some different locks. And then on the other part of that, I've got the Riv Pick. This is part of a larger kit that they make, but this is just their 4 Genesis profiles. The quad and quint rakes, which are my absolute favorites, and then we've got a short and a medium hook. It's called the Riv Pick because of its riveted design. You can see this little L shape right here on the handle, the rivet, and then the 4 half profiles. So the idea is when you push them down here, the bottom of them is going to sit on that edge of that L. So as you're putting your pressure upwards onto the bitting of the lock, it's going to just be like a solid thing. Because the handle is nice and long, you can grab it here or even grab it here, and you have enough that it sits in your hand pretty comfortably. This is not the kind of lockpick that you want for all of your practice and everyday lock sport, but this is the kind of thing that you want to put in your pocket if you're going to be carrying emergency lockpicks. I think having 2 choices for raking and single pin picking gives you a lot of different abilities with just this one little tool right here. So both of these things are available on Covert Instruments website. I bought the Riv Pick as part of the Slim Pickens kit. You can get just the Riv Pick now, and then this is the multi-set tensioner kit that they have, and I've put them together here. 2 things I found out about the Slim Pickens kit. One, I don't enjoy how thick the Key Smart handle is on that thing. I think it makes it gigantor, and it's way too much to try and be covert. And secondly, I don't particularly like that focus mostly on top of the keyway style flat bars that come with it. I think these more focused on bottom of the keyway, which is how I pick, tension tools work better for me. Putting them together with a rubber band makes them tiny, portable, and easy to stash. But please, research your local lockpicking laws before trying to carry any lockpicking gear. I know what the rules are in my state. I know what I'm doing and where I'm going, if I'm going to be carrying these or if I'm not. So really, do your research before getting into lock sport and carrying these on the daily. But I'm just showing them to you. That's the setup that I got going on inside the sling bag here. Now, on the outer duckbill flap of this, we've got a very nice zippered pocket that has a mesh on it that allows you to see whatever you got in here. The first item in here is my Anker Power Core 5K. Of course, with the Smash Brothers gear, Extra Life Toad. This is a smaller battery. It is not a super fast charger, but it does the job very well. It's cheap and effective. It fits great inside of a bag like this and allows you to keep stuff charged up. It comes with a double-sided cable with USB A and C on either one, so you can choose which one of the 2 ports that are on this, A or C. So if you need to, say, charge your phone with USB-C, plug the A side into the device and C into your phone. If you need to charge something with USB-A, plug the C in here and put the A into your phone. I also have a little bag here, a little Mylar bag that has 3 different adapters, USB-C to A, and then C to micro and C to mini, just so I've got all my bases for USB cables covered with just a couple adapters. Make sure you get adapters that are rated for charging or data, depending on what tasks you want to do with them, because guess what? There are different types of USB specs, and you got to make sure that your cable or adapter is rated for the task that you want to do with it. Put this thing back here where it's supposed to go, popped out, and that is the interior look right here at the sling bag. Now, in addition to the spacious interior pocket, there are 2 others. Here on the inner portion right here is a very slim one that is perfect for your phone. When this part of the bag is sitting against your body and your phone inside of it, you can feel it vibrate and you know that you've got yourself a notification. It's nice and close to you like that. You can always just feel the inside of your bag and know your phone is there and not freak out, and your phone is perfectly managed. There's an additional pocket here on the front. You can put whatever you want in there, obviously, but I myself right now have a pwnagotchi in here. What's a pwnagotchi, you say? Well, it is a very, very small single board computer that is AI-powered interface to Ethercap that eats Wi-Fi handshakes. This is a robot that eats your wireless packets and steals and cracks your passwords. Just kidding. This device is a really fun way to explore Wi-Fi networks all around you in a very fun Tamagotchi style interface. I don't have mine plugged in right now. It needs battery power to live. I don't have a battery bag on mine, but the battery pack's in here. And anytime I want to plug him in and go for some war driving, or war walking in this case, he's ready to go. The tiny little pwnagotchi fits right here in this pocket, and he is hacking and eating wireless packets on the go. They got pull tabs down here, even though I almost never use them, but they exist and they can help you open zippers. Zero. So over here on this side, I quickly mentioned that I've got myself a heroclip on here. If you don't know what these are, this is a very ingeniously simple carabiner, right? Just basically a normal wire locking carabiner. But when you pull this out, this part turns, and you actually can turn it like this, and it's got itself a hook with a rubber foot on this edge. You could hang this on the edge of a bathroom stall, you could hang this on the edge of a table, any kind of place you want to, and then whatever's hooked onto the carabiner doesn't hit the floor. But for me, another utilitarian use for having it here on the bag is your water bottle. I love the Camelback chute. It is a very simple water bottle. Give it 3 turns, the lid opens up, pour yourself a nice drink, and then just screw it back on. It is absolutely waterproof and no water is going anywhere out of this. Nice tight on the top. It's got a handle right here, and that is perfect for our heroclip. Just kind of pop that right in there. Now where you hook it on the bag is obviously gonna, affect how it hangs, right? Right here it's gonna be hitting you in the crotch the whole time. But if you flip the bag all the way up like this across your back, now we've got our bottle hanging up here. You don't gotta worry about it hitting you very much at all. This is a very, very nice way to carry a water bottle with you when you've got a sling bag on. The heroclip. They come in a couple different sizes, but this is the small size one, and it's perfect for putting on a sling bag. Stay hydrated, folks. So because I have V1 and V2 of this bag, I thought we'd just take a quick look at the differences between them. So the old bag is high-vis orange on the inside. It is super blingin' bright, just like our new one. Comes with an admin panel. It's also orange and matching. Once again, it has these little web dividers on here if you want. Our new one has a less high visibility gray, but definitely matches the aesthetic of the bag, I think, very well. Both of them have a zippered pocket right here on the beaver tail portion of this bag. They both have a zipper on them to keep them open and shut. Both feature branded YKK watergaurd zips. Now, a big difference is the fabrics, right? Take a look at this completely water-resistant X-Pack versus some traditional, I think this is 800D nylon. A little bit of bag ASMR. Nylon. X-Pack. Both of these bags are very proud to say that they are made in the US of A, prominently on the interior here. Both bags have a little bit of Ranger Eye action on the web of the strap, but the new one is a little bit different and a little bit more specific to the bag. The old strap here actually has 2 layers of stitching on the edge, while the new one has a single one, but it is folded 3 times, while the other one is only folded once. So that's another slight difference there. Same story with the subtle strap differences on the new and old version on the other side. The belts are one of the largest differences. This is a big, chunky, noisy, plastic, easy to break kind of belt. Oh, this is a lovely silent magnetic fidlock. Just comes right off here on the front, no problem. The adjustable portion of the bag seems to be almost identical as it was before. Nice strip, very nice elastic thing here to keep your excess managed with no problems on it. So pretty much the same over here, while this end of the strap is totally different. I'll show you the old buckle, the new buckle. Don't try and pull a fidlock this way. You don't pull back, you lift up. See right here, when you lift up on the front, this one piece of metal, this is the metal spot right here, turns and opens here on the front. And that's the magic of how this fidlock connects just like that. The power of magnets compels you! The power of magnets compels you! Nice little bit of give and stretch to the strap because of this part here being elastic and this part here being nylon webbing. Beat your kids with it if you want to. No, seriously, don't do that. Alright, so more ideas for weird stuff that you can carry inside of this pouch. Are you a vapist like I am? Well, you definitely got to get one of these RYNO pouches. These things are excellent. You can put thin little vapes like this in here, big fat boy vapes like this in here. I've actually got them both in here right now. And this thing is absolutely stank proof. So any of your weird fruity flavors or medical liquids that may be in here are not going to be stinking up you, your bag, your car, or wherever you go. So grab yourself one of these little RYNO stank bags. These things are awesome. And if you plan on carrying lockpicks with you, I highly suggest actually carrying a lock too. You can give a lot of credence to why you have lockpicks, that you're a lock sport enthusiast, if you actually have a lock that you're actively trying to pick. This little guy right here is a tricky lock that I have been struggling with lately. Check out the sweet knurling right here on the key handle. Lovely brass aged body back if we want to remove it and repin it. Then the Sparrows Lock Company logo on the back. These locks have a cutaway window, and as you insert the key or your lock picks, you're able to actually see what's happening inside of the lock. This helps you get a better understanding of what you're doing as you're picking the lock, getting more than just tactile feedback, but some sort of visual idea of what's happening in the lock. I myself have still been struggling with this thing. It is really tricky. The tolerances aren't amazing on this, but it is a beautiful art piece lock to carry with you with your lock picks in your bag so you don't get harassed for having lock picks in the first place. Another cool thing I want to talk about right here, this guy's from Matador. I've had this product for a few years now, and you know, most of the time when you actually use it, it's going to look like this, all messed up and haphazard, not nicely organized and flat. I learned about this from Accessorize Me. This tiny little pouch right here that absolutely fits in a front pocket on its own. Pull this thing inside out. And this is a full-size tarp. I mean, it can easily fit 2 people. There's some grass, nerds. Or don't with this blanket. Use it as a fun cape. On each of the corners, you will find these little metal stakes to push into the ground. Got a little elastic band attached to them. They also have these little pockets that allow you to slide them in for when you fold the thing back up. There is this green line on this fabric that shows you exactly how to fold this thing to get it back into the tiny little pouch. So let's try. Obviously, how well you pack it is going to dictate how thin it's going to be or how organized, but these things are tiny and fit right into this bag great. So if you need to give yourself a seat on potentially a wet day on a log, on a hike, if you're going camping, if you're just going out on a parade or something with your family, this is a great way to have a couple dry seats for you. If you don't like the idea of using the bag itself as a wallet, allow me to suggest to you the Trayvax Summit. I've had this wallet for a few years. I've kind of gotten off carrying a metal wallet like this in my pocket. I don't think it's the most comfortable, but if it's for you, this is my favorite cheap metal wallet. So let me take everything out of here and show you what the setup is. So we've got one piece of metal right here that has an elastic webbing strap that is adjustable right here, just like a traditional belt loop kind of setup right here. This thing has a hole for a carabiner, for any kind of key clip, or if you wanted to put some paracord on there. And then there is 2 raised edges. So if I take this whole stack of cards and insert them again, you can see they can't go any further than this bottom one. So here on the front, I've got 3 different metal covers for this wallet, just because I wanted to give you a few options. This is the one that comes from Trayvax itself if you get the Armored Summit. It's just a nicely engraved kind of hollow hollowed out piece of metal. This works as a bottle opener too, because of course, why wouldn't it? And it just fits nicely in the front of the wallet. Then I've got these 2 metal cards from RYNO, just a all black one and then a metal one, the XO, because my name is Zero, so why wouldn't I get a piece of metal that says XO on it? So any one of those works great as just a little protective cover right here on the front of your wallet. If you don't want people to see what's in there, potentially put some RFID shielding on this if it's the right kind of metal. Just gives you some options. It's very easy to deploy cards out of this. You can either slide it down here from the front, or you can slide it from back here on the back, depending on if you want to get cards from the front or the back. If you want to come in here from the middle, it's very easy to just slide through each of these cards by kind of just using this window here or using the front of the wallet. I love this thing, and once you get it dialed in to how tight it needs to be for the amount of cards you carry, this thing is great. Now, if you only carry 2 cards like I do these days, this is too big. It's too much for all of that. You almost just need the elastic band and nothing else. But this is great if you carry 8 to 10 or more cards. I think these things can go up to 25 if you want to Costanza the crap out of this thing. But yeah, the trayvax Summit. It's a very nice wallet. Got my Blockbuster card in here, and of course, probably maybe most importantly, the get out of hell free card. Because you never know when shit's gonna go awry and you're gonna die, and you need to Uno reverse the devil. So anyhow, the trayvax Summit in the pouch. If you're not a weird AI hacking nerd and don't want to use a pwnagotchi, another thing that I think that's cool to carry here in the front of this slimline thing is a bit kit. Some kind of screwdriver and a set of bits for said screwdriver. Real quick, I want to go over this bit kit. This is a like $3 little flexi thing I got off Amazon that holds a bunch of bits. Since it's stretchy, it kind of gives a little bit. So if they're tight, kind of just pull it to the side like this a little bit and wiggle it out. Gives it a nice tight grip in there, so none of these are going to fall out in your bag and get lost. It's a very nice little way to organize your bits. And I definitely suggest hardened wiha ones. They are absolutely the best. And I have 3 different wiha bit kits in here. I've got standard, I've got Phillips, and I've got some hex and Torx, a couple of square bits in there too, just to round a whole set of pretty much any bit that you could possibly want in a ton of different sizes. So this is great for whatever you need to screw. And then the tool of choice for me when it comes to a screwdriver that you carry with you, this is the Silex Gear Fix. This is a solid piece of blackened aluminum that has 4 things that are all held in with magnets. Once again, how do they work? Rails here on the side will show you where the little bits are. You can choose to just put them right here into the front, get your screw in done. The magnets hold both the bit itself as well as the other bits on the side in. See how this one slid forward when I shook it? You can freely move because the magnet's only in the front. The magnet keeps it from falling all the way out of the tool. So you can slide that in and out at your leisure. The shape of these wiha bits is the same as this little channel here on the side, so you got to get it lined up just right. It's a bit fiddly, but that kind of keeps them in place, and it's kind of both good and bad, right? Double-edged screwdriver. On the other side here, this is the bit extender, and this is the main event of this screwdriver. You can plop it right here in the front, and you've extended the whole length of this screwdriver double, so you can now reach a lot of harder to get to screws. But also, you can pop it right here in the side and get yourself a nice grip on this for some serious torque. On hard-to-do screws, stuff that's stuck, this is great. So, the Silex Gear Fix. This is my favorite EDC screwdriver. It is very small and compact, fits perfectly in this front pocket of the Snacktime sling bag. Where's the crazy pocket trash, Zero? Well, I got you, my friend. Let's go all the way into the back rooms and check out this piece of madness. This is my kartifact from mallmetal.com. This is an insane fidget toy from another dimension. These come as playset kits with a whole bunch of different pieces and are absolutely user customizable. You can put whatever kind of strange nonsense you want on these things to make them however you want them to be. In their purest form though, these are like wacky-ass balisongs that also function as a vape. I personally really love the mechanical keycap switches on the back. I've got the saw blade here on the side that spins and also pops off for a little bit of silly Kasarigama mace action here. Very cool the way that these things just snap and ratchet here onto the side. Some very nice tactile fidget action with that. On the front here, this is for your extra cartridges, but I got a little fidget toy in here now, and the all-seeing eye. On the side, we've got the custom mace scales on this, and the brand new pro bearing trigger. There's actually a bearing inside of this that allows you to get some serious spins with this thing. On the inside here, we've got a post that unscrews for a standard 510 connection. And there's just a big button right here for you to do whatever you might do with a 510 connection. This is the absolute definition of pocket trash. If you want a fidget toy that does nothing practical, but gives you an insane amount of fun, an insane amount of collectability, the same amount of customization, the way that you want it to look, the way you want it to be, man, mallmetal.com has got you. Pretty much every part of this is 3D printed. So expect 3D printed style lines on anything you get from mallmetal. I think that's fine. They hold up perfectly well for the kind of play that these toys are designed for, but I just want to point it out. These are 3D printed, and you should expect as much. They've got real bearings, they've got real 510 connectors, they've got real mechanical keycap switches, but the components themselves, it's just 3D printed plastic. So don't expect the most amazing, perfectly smooth thing, but at the same time, expect all kinds of fun with a kartifact from mallmetal. This week's pure insanity that I found traversing in the back rooms. Alright, knife enjoyers, I've got one for you here. That's a little bit different, doesn't fit any kind of theme, and we're just going to pop it out because it is what it is. This is a prototype that I was sent from Drocket Designs. I think this is called the suit and tie. I might be wrong, I'll put the name on the screen once I look it up. So you can check out the pocket clip, very deep, it goes all the way here to the edge. Got some very, very sturdy grip action here on the front. If you wanted to try and use this as a fist, you definitely could. Now there's a big button here and a hole in the front. How do you think that is going to turn out? If you guessed a giant knife was going to slide out of the front of it, you are correct. Check out the set grind on this bad boy. Very awesome compound grind on this. This is definitely a one-of-a-kind knife, not like anyone I've ever handled, not like any other one that's in my collection. So this knife has a button here. You push it, and it slides out like this. Push it in, you slide it back in like this. Now when it gets down here, it's a little hard to do one-handed with it coming out of the top like this. Two-handed makes it much easier to deploy. You see right here on the inner portion of the track where that little notch is, and then there's another one down here at the bottom. This allows this knife to lock into two positions. Position one here, knife is now locked where it is. Let's push that in, and now slide it down. Lock it into position two. Now, this is a second. This knife is not production quality, that's why I was sent it for free to check it out. It does not have the action that Drocket wants, and I can see why. The tolerances are not quite right on this. I tried to lube it. You might notice there's some extra lube in here just to make it a little smoother for this video, and that was a mistake. But now, can you hold it one-handed and deploy it like this? Yup, I absolutely can. If you need a single halfway pull for a quick stabby stab, this knife will definitely do that job for you real easy. So yeah, the suit and tie from Drocket Design, a new knife in the works. Just a little preview of a prototype knife I thought I'd show you this week. I think another good option is to put a Zippo either behind the patch in this pocket here, or behind the pocket behind the patch back here. Yeah, it takes up a little space, but a good Zippo is definitely a very usable tool. I've got this crazy looking one with some almost tool artwork on it. This is one of those butane powered ones. I don't know if you can see the flame on here in the daytime. A little adjustable here. This is a soft touch. It's not made of metal, refillable. Just a nice little lighter if you need fire with you. So the fit, got the brand new Data Crew Piñata shirt. Got that iconography on the back, very sweet. Actually been wearing necklaces again lately. This is an old Featherlight luggage key that belonged to my grandma. When I was a kid, I used to imagine this thing gave me special powers and then I could fly, or I had some sort of, I don't know, winged feet or something. And from the Sleepofreason 88, we've got this little Skeletor necklace that holds a secret. Back here we've got just 2 magnetic clasps, some really, really nice, very tight beadwork. But this thing might serve another purpose that you can think of that I'm not going to say out loud, but trust me, this thing is just a very nice accoutrement you wear around your neck just in case. Well, that is the video this week. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the Data Crew's Snack Time Sling Bag. If you're going to buy one, make sure you use my discount code XERO15. Gets you 15% off your entire order. This bag is not the cheapest, but it is made in America. It is super high quality, it is super functional, and you now got yourself a discount code to get it even cheaper. So thank you to Carlos and Milk for both providing me this bag to show it off to you, and as well as this discount code for you to get hooked up on their site. So the sun sets on yet another episode of Zero Style, and I want you to have yourself a wonderful day. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're different and the same as everyone else at the same time. You're both good and evil. You don't have to be a boolean, a polar opposite. You don't have to fit yourself into a box. You're a human just like the rest of us, but you are you, and I want you to try and live your best life on your terms. So have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Later on.